Imagine handing a robot a handful of um, weird custom machined gears.
Objects it has never seen before in its life.
You do not program it.
Yeah.
You do not give it an instruction manual.
Right.
But without any prompting, it just, intuitively understands the physical laws of how to fit them together and turn them.
Today, we are looking at how artificial intelligence is breaking out of the neat, tidy boxes on our screens and bleeding into the chaotic, physical, real world.
Welcome, listeners, to episode 480 of AI Brief. I am Amin.
And I'm Leah. Our mission for today's deep dive is to unpack Anthropic's massive new visual creation tool.
We're also breaking down the staggering new hardware and business shifts happening in robotics. We have heavyweights like Uber and Toyota making some massive moves.
And then we will run through today's top artificial intelligence tools to supercharge your personal productivity.
The contrast we're exploring today is genuinely mind-bending. On one hand, we're looking at software that instantly renders interactive design prototypes with just a text prompt.
And on the exact opposite end of the spectrum, we're looking at a bipedal robot that can effortlessly sink half-court basketball shots.
We are moving from the pixels on your screen to heavy machinery operating out in the streets. So, jumping into today's new updates, what exactly did Anthropic just release?
We are witnessing a fundamental shift in how this technology operates in the creative space. The industry is moving rapidly from simple text generation into full-scale visual collaboration.
Anthropic Labs just launched a brand new product called Claude Design.
And it is powered by Anthropic's most capable vision model to date. That is the Claude Opus 4.7 model.
The core functionality here allows you to create highly polished visual work using a whole variety of inputs. You can use standard text prompts, upload existing files, or even use web captures.
The model takes those inputs and generates professional-grade visual content. But that web capture feature is where I think this gets really fascinating.
Oh, definitely. It is a vital detail.
It means you can point the model at an existing digital environment, and it actually understands the spatial relationships. It understands the layout and the visual hierarchy.
It is not just looking at a flat picture. It is parsing the structural code behind the image to generate realistic prototypes and fully interactive designs.
The feature set they built around this is incredibly robust, too. Claude Design includes inline commenting,
which allows your team to leave feedback directly on the generated assets, which is huge.
There is also direct editing functionality, and they have introduced these custom sliders for refinement. Plus, it features the automated application of team design systems.
Once your visual asset is complete, it exports directly to PDF, PPTX, and HTML. Claude Design is currently in research preview for Pro, Max, Team, and Enterprise subscribers, and it is rolling out gradually today.
I want to highlight that automated application of team design systems because, honestly, that is the critical bridge here.
That is exactly what elevates this from a fun novelty image generator into a real enterprise-grade utility.
A business can ensure that every single visual output adheres strictly to their established brand guidelines, their exact color palettes, their typographic scales,
without a human having to manually check it every single time.
Think about the traditional workflow you are probably used to. You need a mock-up, so you send a long, detailed email to a designer.
You wait a day or two, you get a draft back.
And the button is the wrong shade of blue, or, the layout feels too cramped. So you write another email trying to explain visual concepts with text.
And you just wait again.
Using Claude Design is essentially like having a junior designer sitting right next to you at your desk.
Instead of sending those endless emails for minor revisions, you simply grab those custom sliders and tweak the prototype yourself in real time.
You adjust the spacing or the visual hierarchy instantly.
That analogy perfectly illustrates why this completely shifts the workflow, specifically for product managers, marketers, and founders.
These are professionals who possess a very strong vision for what they need, but perhaps lack the technical proficiency in complex graphic design software to execute it themselves.
By providing this intuitive, collaborative platform, Anthropic is streamlining the entire design process.
It reduces friction, enhances collaboration, and fundamentally increases the velocity at which a team can move from a rough concept to a polished business asset.
You no longer need to be a software expert to visually communicate a complex business concept. That is a massive leap forward for productivity.
So Claude Design is perfecting how these models imagine things on a 2D screen, but Taking that digital intelligence and putting it into a physical body operating in the messy real world it is an entirely different challenge.
Which perfectly explains why a software monopoly like Uber is suddenly making an astonishing pivot.
Let us transition from the digital collaboration of Claude Design to the physical execution of AI in the real world, moving from screens to the streets.
The physical environment introduces a level of chaos and unpredictability that a digital interface simply does not have.
Mhm.
Watching how legacy businesses are adapting to this new reality is fascinating.
Uber is executing a massive strategic shift. They have assembled a war chest of over $10 billion.
Oh, wow. $10 billion.
They are going all in on robotaxis. If we pause and look at the underlying architecture of this deal, it is absolutely staggering.
They are committing this immense capital to key partners, including Baidu, Rivian, and Lucid.
Their stated target is to deploy driverless services across 28 cities by the year 2028.
After years of essentially watching the autonomous vehicle market mature from the sidelines, Uber is finally throwing its full weight into physical hardware.
Which is a profound shift in their business philosophy.
Wait, I am genuinely stuck on this. I need to push back here. Uber built its entire massive global empire on the gig economy.
The human drivers.
The fundamental superpower of their business model is that it is asset light. They provide the software network, and the human drivers provide the physical vehicles.
And those drivers take the hit on depreciation.
Why on earth would they abandon the exact model that made them a monopoly just to pour $10 billion into purchasing and operating physical hardware?
It feels counterintuitive.
It feels like moving backwards into a terrible business model.
It does look like a step backward until you consider the existential threat they're facing. The business motivation behind this shift is driven by pure fear.
Fear of losing their market dominance.
Uber recognizes the landscape is fundamentally changing beneath their feet. They realize that rival robotaxi fleets possess the potential to completely disrupt the market Uber spent a decade building.
Rival companies that own both the software app and the autonomous cars.
Think about it. If a competitor scales a fully autonomous fleet, that competitor controls the entire vertical. They do not have to split fares with drivers.
Uber is making this massive financial commitment because they understand that they must cannibalize their own legacy model to ensure their survival in the next era of transportation.
It is a profound realization that past success offers zero protection against future technological disruption.
The physical environment is not just about transportation, though. The chaos of the real world is being tackled in incredibly diverse ways.
While Uber is trying to navigate city streets, Toyota is focusing on absolute laser-targeted physical precision.
Toyota officially unveiled their new basketball robot this week, the CUE7.
The CFC7 is a bipedal robot building upon the foundation of their previous CUE6 model.
What makes this hardware so remarkable is not just the motors or the metal, it is the underlying software architecture.
It utilizes a highly sophisticated combination of reinforcement learning and a hybrid control system.
For those who might not spend their days reading technical white papers, reinforcement learning is essentially digital trial and error, executed at lightning speed.
The software gets a digital reward every time it adjusts a mechanical joint correctly in a simulation,
Eventually figuring out the exact physics needed to perform an action perfectly. This robot visually locks onto the basketball hoop, calculates the necessary physical trajectories in milliseconds, and sinks long-range shots.
with a level of consistency that is truly staggering. Even for professional athletes in the NBA, a half-court shot is a low-percentage gamble.
For the CUE7, it is simply a mathematical equation executed through perfect mechanical precision.
The videos of this robot nailing shots from these insane distances are absolutely everywhere right now.
While the spectacle of a robot shooting hoops is highly entertaining, we have to look at the actual business utility here.
This basketball robot serves as Toyota's real-world testbed. They are using this highly controlled environment to push the boundaries of their vision systems.
Their advanced motion control mechanics and their embodied artificial intelligence.
The calculations required to dynamically adjust joint torque, account for distance, and execute a perfect physical motion are directly translatable to industrial manufacturing.
You have to remember, Toyota's primary business is building cars, and cars are built by robots.
We are seeing specialized, targeted perfection with the Toyota CUE7. It is trained to do one incredibly complex task perfectly.
But there is a completely different approach to physical robotics making headlines today. And honestly, this is the one that blows my mind.
San Francisco startup Physical Intelligence has just published research regarding their new model, designated Pi zero point
The
0.7.
claims surrounding the Pi point 7 model represent a fundamental paradigm shift in robotics.
The research indicates that this model allows robots to tackle completely unfamiliar tasks by utilizing skills they learned in entirely different contexts.
It is a massive leap from specialized, narrow programming to generalized physical understanding.
The most fascinating detail from this research is that the model's capabilities actually shocked its own creators.
There was this incredible anecdote from the laboratory where a researcher randomly handed the robot a gear set.
They asked the robot to rotate a gear.
The robot had never been explicitly trained on the mechanics of gears, nor had it seen that specific object before in its training data.
Yet it successfully manipulated the gear set. It just instinctively knew how to do it.
Think about the implications of that. It did not need 1,000 hours of simulation to learn what a gear was.
That moment is exactly why this matters. When we connect the specialized precision of the Toyota CUE7 with the shocking generalized adaptability of the Pi zero point 0.7 model, we see the two major fronts of modern robotics.
Toyota represents the peak of engineered repetition in a known environment.
Physical intelligence represents the holy grail of robotics, the ability to infer physical laws from past experiences and apply them to novel situations without human intervention.
If a robot can understand the concept of rotation from turning a doorknob and then seamlessly apply that physics to a gear set it has never seen, well, that is a massive unlock for the entire industry.
We are watching the transition from programmed machines that just follow scripts to machines that intuitively understand physical interaction.
Let us bring this focus back down to earth for a moment. We have discussed billion-dollar corporate pivots and robots sinking half-court shots.
Now let us look at practical, highly accessible tools you can immediately use to boost your personal and professional productivity today.
We will begin with a tool we analyzed earlier, Claude Design by Anthropic Labs.
The direct application for you here is visual communication. If you need to create interactive prototypes, polished presentation slides, or marketing one-pagers, you no longer need to start with a blank canvas.
You do not need a complex design program. You simply talk to Claude.
You describe the parameters of your project, and it generates the structured visual output ready for you to tweak with those custom sliders.
Next on the list is notebooks in Gemini. One of the biggest drains on our daily productivity is information fragmentation.
You have a document open in one window, a chat interface in another, and reference files scattered across your desktop.
Notebook solves this by acting as a highly focused, centralized workspace. It allows you to keep every single element of a complex project organized together.
The chat history, the generated text, and the reference files all live in one unified environment so you never lose your train of thought.
Moving to local execution, we have CraftBot. This tool caters directly to users who prioritize data sovereignty and system control.
CraftBot is a self-hosted proactive assistant. It lives entirely locally on your own machine rather than relying on a continuous connection to a cloud server.
Local execution means the model lives on your laptop's hard drive. It does not send your proprietary data up to a server farm somewhere.
It provides the heavy lifting of an intelligent assistant while ensuring your private information never leaves your personal hardware.
For those managing digital infrastructure or running a business, Cloudflare has introduced a highly practical utility called Is Your Site Agent Ready?
The name describes exactly what it does, but the mechanism is important. It scans your website to evaluate how easily artificial intelligence agents can read and understand it.
And interact with your digital storefront. A bot does not look at the pretty pixels rendered on a screen. It looks at the underlying code structure.
As automated agents begin browsing the web to aggregate information or actually make purchases on behalf of users, ensuring your site's architecture is legible to these systems is going to be a competitive necessity.
If an AI cannot read your site, it cannot buy your product.
We also have ChatGPT Shopping. This tool leverages conversational models to create richer, more visually immersive digital shopping experiences.
Instead of a consumer endlessly scrolling through a static, traditional grid of product thumbnails, they engage in a dynamic, tailored discovery process.
The model curates and generates the visual presentation based on the user's specific context and requests in real time.
Finally, we are looking at ElevenAgents by ElevenLabs. This platform addresses the massive bottleneck of human capital in customer interaction.
It allows businesses to deploy highly sophisticated conversational voice agents that can handle complex interactions.
The immediate use case here is scaling your conversational reach. You can have 10,000 customers call at the exact same second.
And the AI handles all of them flawlessly without you having to scale your human team at that exact same rate.
It is a remarkably comprehensive suite of tools today, covering visual design, local processing, web infrastructure, and conversational scaling.
Each one offers a distinct lever to increase operational efficiency depending on what bottleneck you are facing.
We have covered a massive spectrum of technology in this deep dive, from the pixels being generated on your screen to the gears turning in a robot's hand. I want to leave you with a thought experiment that blends the physical and digital advancements we have discussed today.
If general intelligence models like Pi 0.7 can learn to manipulate novel objects simply by observing physical laws, and heavy hardware is becoming as remarkably precise as Toyota's CUE7 basketball robot.
What everyday physical task would you want a robot to learn just by watching you do it once?
Think about the friction in your daily routine, whether it is folding laundry, cooking a specific meal, or organizing your garage.
And what it would mean to automate it simply by demonstrating it a single time.
Thank you for joining us. If you want to keep staying ahead of the tech curve, hit that follow button and share AI Brief with a friend who loves this space as much as you do.
See you in the next episode.